Hey y'all, real quick, I just wanted to come on and encourage you. Listen, I need to tell you this. And, sometimes we need to hear it, okay? So listen, you need to stop putting yourself in a box and allowing other people to box you in. Let me tell you something. You need to understand that the limits that you put on yourself is what's limiting you. And then you taking on the idea or the concept of other people's idea of the box you need to be put in, and then you accepting that as your reality is what's limiting you. Let me explain. See, we have the ability to agree with or disagree with what's being said to us or about us. And you either come into agreement with it or not. Okay? So if you want to place yourself in a box and stay in that box for the rest of your life and limit yourself on things that you think that you can or cannot do, go for it. Because whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because as a man thinketh, so is he or woman, right? So what you think about and who you think you are and how you present yourself in the world by the way that you see yourself, that's it. That's who you are. So some of us are going to have to break the mold. And what I mean by that is you're going to have to break the idea and the concept of the box that you were either put in by other people or the box that you allowed yourself to believe that you were supposed to fit in. And in the process of breaking that box, you're going to have to emerge into who you are actually supposed to be. See, the reason why some of us have been limited in our lives is because of the fact that we only allow ourselves to believe up to a certain point, not quite understanding that if you are a believer, and those of you, what I mean by that is if you are a believer of God, a believer in Christ, okay, we know that the God we serve is limitless. There are no limits on the God that we serve, right? So, and God is infinite. And what we think may seem impossible is not impossible for God, okay? So we have to adopt the mindset that we can do anything through God, Christ, who strengthens us, right? But there are what we end up putting ourselves into limitations based on what we reflectively see ourselves as or becoming. We have to change how we see ourselves. We have to change our thoughts and our perceptions of ourselves. And we have to heal from the box that other people's concepts and beliefs about us have put us in. It's time to come out the box. It's time to break the mold. It's time to step into your greatest, most powerful self. The only way you're going to do that is by letting go of all the things that were placed upon you, either by what other people said about you or the box you put yourself into by believing the things that those people said or did. So where does that start? Up here. In your mind. Because what you think about, you become. Remember, everything that is ever created or manifested into the world that we live in was a thought first. It was a concept first. So, is it possible to change? Absolutely, yes. Is it possible to break the mold? Yes, because you have to believe you can first. And then once you believe that you can achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve in life, then guess what? Your faith then presses you forward in a sense that by believing it and having the faith to do actions and place action behind it to become your greatest self, then guess what? You then go into that process of breaking the mold. But it's up to you to want to break the mold, to want to get out of your box, to not just want it, but get to the point where if you don't get out of it, you know within yourself that you won't be able to live the life that you want to live abundantly in Christ. Now remember, God allowed us, or basically Jesus came that we would have life and life more abundantly. But how can you have life more abundantly if you constantly are putting yourself in a box or an idea or a concept of what other people are telling you need to be? Seek God for guidance. Seek God in the direction that you want to be in life, or direction he wants you to be in life, because you want to be in God's will whenever you're doing anything. So seek God for a direction on what to do, how to do it, and how to proceed. I promise you, if you get silent and allow God to speak to you, he will give you the answers you're seeking for you to be able to break that mold and become your greatest, most powerful self. It's time now. It's time. Clearly, what's happening in the world around us is giving us a notion, or giving us notice that we don't have time to play anymore. It's time to take action on who you have seen yourself being your entire life, but never took any steps forward because of fear, doubt, or not having a full understanding of how to get there. But now it's time to seek God for direction to get it done. It's time to become your fullest and greatest self, to break the mold and get out the box. Okay. I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. Now you got to make it a great day on purpose, and don't you go messing up nobody else's day. But it's time for you to get out of the box that you were placed in, or the box that other people put you in. It's time for you to become your greatest self. It's time for you to break that mold of your daily routine that you found yourself in, that's keeping you in that box. And it's time for you to pursue after who God called you to be. And take a moment to get silent, to ask God what it is he wants you to do, because he'll give you an answer and he'll give you instructions, but it's a matter of you obeying and doing what he tells you to do. Yeah. Obedience is part of the process of breaking the mold too. Okay. All right. So we're going to get out of our box this year. Yeah. And we're going to become our greatest self. In spite of what it looks like around us, it's time to break the mold, get out of the box, and become our greatest self. It's time now. All right. I love y'all. Y'all know I love you. Now you go out and make it a great day on purpose. And don't you go messing up nobody else's day. But we getting out that box this year. And we're going to get out the mold. We're going to break the mold and become our greatest self. You hear me? Okay. Now go make it a great day. All right. Love y'all. Bye.